What are you cooking today, Miss Martha? I am making a chicken and rice dish. It's inspired by my Aunt Angela. She's, God rest her soul, she's no longer with us, but she kind of made me interested and wanted to cook spicy foods because she's of Cuban descent. And this is, I know I'm going to say it wrong. I've already practiced 5 times this morning. I Googled it to hear the Spanish person say it. It's Arroz con Pollo. And even though I always say it Arroz con Pollo, because that way I know how to spell it when I'm writing out the recipe and stuff, let's get started on it. I've got a large pot, got it warming up. We're going to put 3 tablespoons of olive oil in it. 1, 2, 3, cover the bottom. That's probably more like 5. While I'm waiting for that to heat up so I can put the chicken in, I've already pre-rinsed the chicken. I want to show you something. See if I can get this turned around for the camera the right way. I don't have skinless, boneless chicken. Usually when I'm cooking recipes, I'm trying to watch sodium and fat content, and I'll buy skinless, boneless. I hope it doesn't get too hot. Let's put the fan on. But you're going to need the fat content for this to come out the way you want it to come out. I would have trimmed out all this nasty fat over here and the skin off if I was just cooking it. But like I said, it's going to cook down into the broth here, and I've got a lot of vegetables and rice going in it, so you won't really notice the fat content. Let's put our chicken in. It's been pre-rinsed. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, don't splash on me. Move that off the burner. I talk too much, let it get hot. Yeah. I've got 8 thighs and 6 legs. No seasoning on it yet. All right, let me move this out the way because I a big old spoon out here. We're going to have to let this chicken brown on all surfaces so we can save time while I'm doing it. No seasoning there, it's just the chicken and some olive oil. Whew, that took about 15-20 minutes there. I thought I was going to have to call the fire department, all the smoke coming out of here. I forgot when you were doing chicken with all that skin, all that fat on it. Boy, it was splattering all over. I had to go pin the chihuahuas up in the bedroom there because I didn't want anything to pop on them. But when it started to settle down, it's not popping all over the place and it's starting to get golden brown. I'll show you. We're just rendering the fat out of it. We're not trying to fully cook the chicken right now. So I'm going to remove it from the pot, and do not dump what's in your pot because that's the lovely yumptiousness that we're going to use for the rest of the recipe. So I'm going to remove the chicken from the pot right now. Okay, I had to move the pot off the burner for right now. On the pre-fried chicken where the fat has been rendered out of it, just going to put a little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper, black pepper. My husband likes black pepper, so I'll put a little extra of that. And a little cumin. Set this aside. Whew. It's going to go back in the pot later. Let's put the chicken fat back on the burner. I've got 2 green peppers, 2 red peppers, 2 large onions diced. Move this out of the way. A spoon. 1 can of green chilies. And 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. Okay, we're gonna stir this up, and we're gonna saute this until the onions go translucent. They start looking kind of clear, so I'll pause the camera, speed along time. Okay, those onions and peppers have been working hard, soaking up all that chicken fat. Soften it up. See? Bring it over, let you see. Without dripping it all over me. Okay. Now your towel. Silly move. All right. We're still on high heat right now. We're going to turn it down later once the chicken goes back in. But I've got 2 cartons of fat-free, because I got enough fat in there from the real chicken, fat-free chicken broth. 2 cartons. I have 2 15-ounce cans of tomato sauce. Not spaghetti sauce, just the tomatoes themselves. Tomato sauce, 2 cans. One can of diced tomatoes. These are all, you know, basically 15-ounce cans. And 1 can of light coconut milk. If you're a true Spanish person, a Cuban or Puerto Rican, you don't got to go in Arroz con Pollo. Yeah, it doesn't mind. Okay, 1 spoon. Stir that up, let it come back up to temp. Smash some on the side of the pot there. Put it all down there. There we go. Okay, I'll pause you for a minute here and then we'll add the spice. While we're waiting for that to come back up to temperature, if I have time, I was going to show you how to do the Tostones, which are twice fried plantains in coconut oil. So the ones at the market aren't as ripe as I want them to be. So I'm going to peel these in a little bit and see if they're going to work for me. If not, I just won't do them today. I'll include the recipe. Okay, I moved the pot over to the burner closer so you can see. We've come back up to a boil now so we can add our spices. We're going to start off with 1 spoonful of ground black pepper. 1 teaspoonful of salt. I know that sounds like a lot, but there's a lot of rice and chicken in here. You gotta have some salt. And to give it one more little kick of chicken, I'm going to use chicken bouillon powder. 3 spoonfuls. 1, 2, 3. We're going to put in 3 bay leaves. We'll try to take those out later before you plate it up at the very end. 1, 2, 3. 3 teaspoons of oregano. The leaves, not the ground. leaves. 1, 2, 3. One teaspoon of ground turmeric. 1 teaspoon ground mustard. 1/2 teaspoon of curry powder, yellow curry powder. 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. I'll put in just about everything I cook. Cinnamon, 2 shakes. 1, 2. You're gonna say that doesn't go in Arroz. It doesn't mine. And look what I found at the store. Every time I've made this, I'm gonna stir this in while I'm talking. I've usually used a little bit more turmeric and stuff. Turmeric, potato, however you say it. Tomato. Because I was always under the impression it was so expensive. Because when Aunt Angela used to make it, she would make it with the saffron. She'd say, "Well, man, you can't afford the saffron. You're just gonna have to get the turmeric and use that to make it look yellow." Because it used to be like $50 to get it, but this was $20. It's got like 4 little pods in there. These little sprigs, I guess it's called. Isn't that cute? That's so cute. Let's see, how do you open it? Well, I should have done this off camera. I'll figure out how to open it. Okay, I got in it. We're not going to use it. We're going to use like half of what's in this little container. So let's get some little sprigs out. Yeah, that's the stuff. Can you see? My steam's in the way. Put that in. All right. Close this little expensive stuff back up. Isn't that, they're so cute though. Really, I'm impressed. About 4 of these in here. Okay. That's all the spices. This is my favorite rice. I'll probably say this wrong too. Arborio rice. We're gonna need 3 cups of rice that's going in. One, 2. You're probably saying, that's it, you're using Italian rice and a Spanish. I don't care. It's what I like. You can, that's what recipes are about. I'm just sharing my recipes with you. My feelings aren't hurt if you don't make it exactly the way that I share it. I want you to be able to experiment. That's the whole point of cooking. Stir that in. I gotta bring the chicken over because the chicken's gonna go back in the pot and finish cooking. All right, let's get the chicken back in the pot. Yeah, the whole point was to get that fat. Be right under me right now, Tito. Mom, I don't want to splash you. I'm a little chihuahua under my feet. Oh, good, doesn't it? Okay. I'll wash my hands because that wasn't fully cooked chicken. Okay. Just about everything's in the pot at this point. Smells delicious. We're gonna let it go like this for about 10 minutes. Then we're gonna turn it down to a simmer. And we're gonna put the lid on it. And we're gonna let it cook for 45 minutes to an hour. We're gonna come in and keep an eye on it, make sure it hasn't stuck to the bottom of the pot. But if you've had it on simmer, it shouldn't. So 5 minutes before the hour is up, so 55 minutes from now, after we put the lid on, we're gonna add the 1 bag, 12 ounces, frozen peas. Just gonna stir that through and go ahead and cut it off. And when you're ready to plate up, you're gonna, well, see, I do different than Aunt Angela did, because she was having dinner parties when she cooked her fancy cumin dish. And she'd put it on a platter, and she'd put it all out there on the platter. She makes sure you took the bay leaves out, and when you're arranging it, you pull the chicken up to the top so the chicken shows nice and pretty on top of all the rice underneath it. And then you put your little asparagus spears, you lay those around on it, around like a little fan shape around. Now, personally, I don't care for asparagus spears. So when I'm just gonna leave it in the pot. My husband comes in from work, he's gonna scoop him out and make him a big old bowl full of it, and I'm gonna have the asparagus warmed up on the side, and he can have his own asparagus. That's what you do with recipes. You cook it what you like, how you like it, and you find out what your family likes, and you try to pass it on as a tradition, which is what I'm doing. I don't have a daughter to share them with, and I don't think my son wants to learn how to cook all this stuff. So hopefully one day, maybe you'll try some of my recipes and give me some feedback how you liked it, how it turned out for you. I've enjoyed sharing with you. I'm going to pause it right now, and we're going to let this simmer down, and we'll pick back up toward the end of the recipe. Thank you for watching so far. Okay, it hasn't quite been 10 minutes, and we're not gonna make sure we're not trying to eat the chicken right now. We're just gonna do a little seasoning check. Perfect. Put the hand off there. Put my lid on it. Turn down to simmer. Okay. Now remember, this will cook for about 45 to 50 minutes. Take the lid off. We'll add our peas. Stir that around. It takes about 5 minutes to get it all the way in there. Heat it up. Cut that all the way off, and then it's ready to eat. And if you're serving for somebody fancy, you want it to look pretty, you can put it on your platter. And you're gonna you don't even have to heat these up. They're gonna lay on top of the hot, and they'll warm up enough just by being laid on top of the hot chicken and rice. Or Arroz con Pollo. I think that's close. All right, we're gonna work on the plantains here. Now, yeah, I'm not crazy. I know that this is supposed to be blacker than this, more ripe, so it'd be nice and sweet. But I'm gonna show you the process. I've got a skillet. I think you can see from here. I've got coconut oil. Go fry them in coconut oil. That also helps make them sweeter. See if that's got hot yet. You've sliced them down like you're cutting up a carrot. Do little medallions. Yeah. All right, here we go. Put these in to fry. I've got a plate over there with a paper towel on it. Move this out of the way. If they were nice and ripe, you take them out and you can put them on here after you fried both sides. And then you're going to put another paper towel on top of the plate. You can put this down on top like that. And you're going to mush, mush, mush. But you know, I'm always telling you about my arthritis. And I don't think I'm going to be able to squish enough, because these aren't quite as ripe as I want them to be. I'm going to take them over there with my rolling pin and my pastry board. And I'm going to get them flat. Then we're going to come back and fry them the second time, because that's what makes them Tostones. Because they're going to turn into little crunchy chips that way. The second plate right now. After the second fry, you have to put a little salt on them so they come out the grease, so the flavor will stick. You can see? Yeah, you can see. Flip them. Ideally, you would do these right when you're ready to serve them. You're the last thing you do. After you've made your platter, You put your chicken and rice out on the platter, you put your asparagus on it to look nice and pretty, then you come back over to the stove, you fry these up real quick so they come out nice and hot. You can have a side of guacamole, or they can use it to dip in there when they're eating their chicken and rice. They can use it, eat it with that. When you're reading through the recipe when I post it on YouTube, it might not look authentic, like if you're a Puerto Rican or you're Spanish or you're Cuban, that your great-great-great-great-grandma made for you, but I didn't say it was. It says it's my version. It is inspired by my Aunt Angela, who was from Cuba. I have her recipe. I've tried to cook it just the way she did. But, you know, our tastes are different as we get older. We don't want to use as much fat. We don't want to use as much creams and things anymore, as much sodium. Everything you eat these days is bad for you. Can't eat this, can't eat that. They're trying to turn us all into rabbits, which is probably good for you, but I'm not a salad person. I'm gonna save time because I had been keeping the time down. I don't want to run up my clock right now. I'm gonna finish frying these. I'm gonna take them over. I'm gonna mush them, and I'll pick back up with you when I put them in for the second fry. Okay, I have my plantains over there. I'm banged them out as thin as I can get them. I had taken my grease off the burner and set it aside. Now I put it back on the burner. What you want to do is you have a little bowl of water. You want to dip them in and out of the water real quick, and then put them back in your grease. So they won't just be soggy, so they'll crisp back up when they fry. It's on the splatter, so I put the chihuahuas away. Woo! Get back, puppy. Get back, baby. Get back, get back, get back, get back, get back. Woo! Get back, get back, get back. Smells good. Put them over. Jesus, I feel like I got some third-degree burns on that one. Woo-hoo! Alright. We'll pick back up. I'm going to take them out the fryer and put some salt on them right away. They just need to fry for a minute here. Okay. Can you hear how crunchy they are? Yeah. Cut those off. Come out. A little bit of salt. Okay. Can you see? Of course, these are like 95% there. They'd be perfect if the peeling of the outer shell had been black. They'd be a lot sweeter than they are right now, sweet and salty. Hear that crunch? That's good. All right, let's check. Hold on, we're going to check back up on the soup. I've been working hard considering that stuff. I've never had anything splatter so much got up on my backsplash before, but I need a piece of seafoam candy. Yeah, I just made this the other day. It's good. I've still got another 20 minutes. It's 20 minutes in. Let's do a seasoning check. All right, that's really good. I'm going to leave my top off because I want this broth to cook out so it thickens up like it's a chicken and rice dish. I don't want it to be a soup. So I'm going to take my top off. Now, what do we take away from this so far today? Well, we learned that you can find saffron and it's not $50 like it used to be. It went down in price. I guess because everybody sells it now, but we lived in a little small town in Emporia. We had a Piggly Wiggly and an A&P and a Star Value. We didn't have fancy grocery stores back then, so, and there wasn't an Amazon to order it to bring it brought to your house. We'd have to drive all the way to Richmond to try to find it in a gourmet shop. Your Tostones, if they're not black ripe on the outside, it's going to be more like a potato chip. It's still tasty, but it's not sweet. So it's just like a potato chip right now because I couldn't find the ripe ones. But it's still really good. My husband will like it. He'll eat it like croutons with his rice soup over here. Also, when you're using chicken that is not skinless and boneless, that chicken fat makes it pop everywhere. So don't have any small children or any little dogs under feet. And watch yourself. I'm gonna tell you. My poor little hands, my little arms, I'm splattered all over. My backsplash is splattered all over here. I gotta have some extra cleanup at the end. We'll check back here right at the end. I'll give it another 20 minutes, and then we'll check in on it and plate it up. By that time, the chicken should be falling off the bone. It should be ready to eat, but I'm not putting the asparagus on my plate. Okay, got about 10 minutes to go on another seasoning check. Okay, the rice is tender, but still a little bit firm. That's perfect. I'm going to add a little bit, another teaspoon of the curry powder and another teaspoon of the cumin powder because I think the rice has soaked up most of the flavor and I want the broth, I want to knock my husband's socks off when he comes in. He wants it spicy. We don't want things salty, we want things spicy. So I'm going to go do that now. Okay, we're going to do a doneness check on the chicken here. Where are my tongs at? I gotta find my tongs now. Okay, there are. Oh, this stuff splattered all over me today. All right. When your chicken starts looking like this, it's falling off the bone. Okay. You can see. 5 minutes from now, I'm gonna stir in the peas, and I'm gonna turn it off. By that time, I'm gonna sit down, rest for a minute, because when my husband comes in, I'll plate his up with a little bit of the asparagus on it, and some of the Tostones on the side. Good. Peas going in. We'll go ahead and turn it off. It's hot enough to keep them all the way through. Beautiful. I'm looking for those bay leaves. I don't see them right now. I know they're in there somewhere. But like I've said a million times, I'm just a home cook. I'm not serving this, I'm not catering or serving it as a dinner party. So, you know, if my husband sees a bay leaf, he'll just pull it off to the side. He knows not to eat it. Let me pull the camera over so you can see what it looks like. Okay. See if I say it right one last time. Arroz con Pollo. Make up a big pot next time you've got a family gathering. It's delicious. Thank you for watching. Full recipe we post on YouTube.